Hi everybody, my name is Hannah and this is my channel Ladybug Stitches, and today I have a 2026 plans video for you guys. I have a lot of different plans going for 2026 and I wanted to share them all with you. I have 3 different sets of plans that I want to share, but first I think I'm going to start with a little bit of a background on my crafting and stitching kind of history, I guess. When I first started cross stitching, I was about maybe 6, 7, 8, somewhere around there. I actually started with just sewing buttons onto a piece of fabric, and that was something that started me off. I fell in love with needle and thread immediately, and my mom hooked me onto cross stitch patterns. So when I was doing them when I was little, I did one kit at a time. And I would pick up another kit whenever I had one or whenever I decided I wanted to stitch the next one. And I was very loosey-goosey. I was very monogamous. I did not stitch anything else except for the kit that I was working on. And that worked really well for me. I picked it up. I cross-stitched off and on for many years until maybe I was in maybe late middle school, early high school, and I did not pick it up again until I was in college. It was my freshman year and I needed something to keep me company in my dorm room. So that's when I found Flosstube. That was in 2017, 2018. So I started working on one project at a time again, because that's something that I was familiar with and something that was easy for me to do in a dorm room. And then I found Flosstube and everybody was working on a whole bunch of different projects. So I was kind of starting to get a little bit influenced, but mostly just stuck to one project. And then as I went on in like 2018, 2019, 2020, I kind of leaned more into having maybe a couple projects, maybe like a big project and a little project. I did a lot of small projects that were really quick and easy to get done. It bulked up my seasonal decorations, which I have some of my seasonal decorations behind me. From some of them were from then. And let's see, I kind of started adding more as time went on. In 2021 and 2022, I just started adding a couple more projects, but mostly it was around no more than 5 projects at a time. And I really mostly just picked one project to work on, and I worked on it for like maybe a week at a time, and then maybe I would switch to something else. But I really had focus pieces, even though I had a couple whips going. And then in 2023 and 2024, I was really getting into Flosstube, and I was trying to convince myself to make my own Flosstube. So in 2024, I started my own Flosstube. I believe it was 2024. And I just felt like I didn't have enough stitching to share with you guys. I had maybe 10 projects, I think. It might have been like 10, somewhere between 10 and 15, I think it was. And that was only because I started bulking up before my videos, because I felt like I didn't have enough to share. And so after I started Flosstube, I had to get a couple more projects in me because I felt like I didn't have enough to share with you guys. I don't know if there are other Flosstubers out there that felt the same way, but I feel like I have to have a lot of projects to share with you guys, otherwise it gets a little bit boring. I know maybe you might not think that way, but that's just the way my brain was going. And so in 2024, I did Whip Mania in May, and I started one project, I think it was every other day. So I ended up with 16 new projects, and that was really fun and really awesome. I really did enjoy having all these extra projects that I can work on, because I felt like it expanded my whip like area, I guess. So I was covering a lot of different seasons, and I was just really happy that I had all these other projects. And then Mania ended and it started getting later in the year, and I was just kind of getting overwhelmed with everything. I didn't know what to focus on. I was getting kind of stressed out about it a little bit. I'm a very stressed out, anxious kind of person, so that's really on course for me. But I would stitch on something, and then I would be like, oh, but I have to stitch on this. So I would stop stitching on that. And then I would stitch on something else for like 5 minutes. And then I would stitch on something else. And it was like, my brain couldn't focus on the one project that I was working on, because I was like, I should be stitching on this project because that project doesn't have a lot in it. Or I should be stitching on this project because that project has been sitting for so long. And I just couldn't focus on anything. And I was not getting a lot of progress on different whips, and it was not working for me anymore. So I went into 2025 with the mindset of, I'll get a couple projects done, clear out my whip list a little bit, and then I had initially planned to do Whip Mania in May again because I really did like it. It was fun, and I was glad to have a lot more projects to get done and to have them display, I guess. I don't know. I just really was looking forward to that. And then as 2025 kept going, I just felt very overwhelmed with all of my whips. I could not focus, and I just did not need that extra stress in my life. Also, not to mention, I am a hobbyist. I have so many different hobbies. It's well over 20 hobbies at this point. I actually wrote it down like a couple weeks ago, and it was a really long list. So that just was not working for me. So I spent the rest of 2025 telling myself that I just need to get some of these whips done. I need to clear them out. I need to whip down as much as I possibly can because it's just not working for me anymore. Something that I ended up realizing was I really do well with one focus piece. I can have a couple whips, that's fine, but I need a focus piece that I can pour all of my energy into for a while, and then I can get a lot of work done, and then I can actually see the progress. And if I tell myself, like with a list or something else, if I tell myself, if I work on this project, then that's what I have to do in that moment, and I don't need to focus on anything else in that moment. So just think about this whip right now, or just think about this project right now, and that's where you need to be right now. And you don't have to focus on all these other projects because you're gonna get to all of them, and just focus on this one right now. So I really decided that I need to keep myself a little bit more accountable. If I have it written down, then it's gonna keep me more accountable. It feels like it's not just me telling myself that I have to do this, it's something else giving me permission to focus on something. So I think that's what led me to all of these plans that I have. But first, I also do want to share, in 2024, I did try to do something like this, and I failed miserably because I didn't do it the right way. Now I think I know, so hopefully I have better success this year. So I did this poster, which is my 2024 craft goals, and we're not judging this. This was supposed to be scrappy looking. I had a whole bunch of stickers. I still have a ton of stickers, so I just wanted to put a whole bunch of them on here. And I separated it into my cross stitch goals and my hobby goals. So I will read it out to you. My cross stitch goals, and it was so vague too that it just didn't work for me as well. I just wrote down Rolodex Morning Sampler, which is one of the whips that I still have. I'm pretty sure I wanted to finish it, which was a new project that I had started that new year, or like the Christmas before. So I was really excited about that project. I still am excited. But I think I wanted to finish it, and that just was not realistic for me for that year. So that one did not get done. There was another project that I did get done, which is called Keyhole Ship, and it's by Kate Stitcher, Cute Embroidery by Kate. I finished that one because that was a small, so I gave myself a little sticker there for that one. Whoops, things everywhere. One other one that I kind of just gave myself, I had planned to finish it, and it was one cat kit from my cousin Sarah. She gives me a lot of kits that are cat themed, and I just gave myself the sticker because I started it and I never finished it until this year. That was Joy Sunday's 5 Kittens. I think it was just called 5 Kittens. I did finish that one this year, but I had put it on there for last year. Or 2024, I guess. I finished it last year now. The next one was I wanted to get the second page done in that really big avatar map project that I've been working on. This video will really help you if you've seen my whip parade before this, because I didn't bring any of these whips to show you. So I hope that you kind of remember what I'm talking about, but it's that really, really big map that I was working on, and I just wanted to finish the second page. I did not get that done, and I did not get that done in 2025 either. The next one are 2 mini paintings, which are done by the Cross Stitch Patterns, I think it's called, on Etsy. They do a lot of these really miniature famous paintings, and I bought the kit that was the whole shop, so it was like $30, and then I got it on with a coupon. There's this person that I follow that posted a coupon for it, so I got that, and so I have access to the entire shop. I'm pretty sure I still have access even to more patterns that they release, so I still have access to them. And I have done 2 of their mini paintings so far, and I think the one was Venus, which is with Venus, she's standing in a seashell, I believe. So I did that one, and then I did one that was a Japanese like stamp art. I think it's a frog or a toad, I think. I'll have to show you guys them one time if you're interested, but I really want to do more because I want to have like a little mini gallery wall, and they're also really nice to stick in with my other cross stitch pictures on my wall. So they're so cute too, and they'd be quick, but I just need the right floss for them. So I didn't do any of those. I have them printed out, I just haven't done them at all. Let's see. 2024 was also the year that I got Big City Christmas, which is by Country Cottage Needleworks, I think. I wanted to complete one of them. I did not do that. I completed it in 2025. And then the last one, which I also just gave myself, even though I didn't complete it, was my sunflower embroidery project. That was a gift from my cousin Sarah. That is the one, if you watched my my whip parade, is the one that I said I was in French knot hell, because I am just in all of the French knots, and it's just a ridiculous amount of French knots. Sorry about my hair. I got my hair cut, and it's I'm still trying to get used to it, and it's like not curled right today for some reason, so sorry about that. But I started it, so I gave myself the sticker even though I didn't finish it. So those are all of my cross stitch plans that I had for 2024. And then my hobby plans was I wanted to read 2 physical books because I really love reading. And I have a lot of physical books that I have to get through. I'm kind of leaning more towards my Kindle lately. So my sticker just fell off. That's sad. I'll have to glue that on or something. I have a lot of physical books that I want to get through, but I'm mostly focused on Kindle lately. So that was a goal that I had. And I read 1 physical book, but I didn't read 2. I wanted to read 2. I wanted to finish my train station, which is a plastic canvas kit. I did not finish it in 2024. I did finish it last year though. I wanted to start my next plastic canvas project, but I couldn't do that until I finished the train station, so I didn't do that. I wanted to finish my blue crochet sweater, which I did not bring to show, but it is a blue granny square sweater. Did not finish that, still have not finished that. I wanted to start a scrap blanket because I have a lot of crochet. It's a crochet scrap blanket, but I have a lot of yarn scraps that I wanted to use up. Did not do that. I wanted to finish my Halloween English paper piecing project, which I have to share, but I did not finish that. I wanted to make my blue hutch cover, which actually I did. It is that blue piece of fabric that's on the bottom of my hutch, and I did do that one. Look at that. I have a sticker. And I wanted to finish my knitting project. I still have not finished that. And I wanted to do this one kit that I have that are bunny place settings. So they're like a little tablecloth or placemats that are bunny themed, and I did not do that. So 2024, big fail. I learned a lot though, and I will I have improved, hopefully, for my 2026 plans. I did not do one of these boards last year because I was just feeling overwhelmed and I could not focus on another craft goal list that I was going to fail at. So this year, it will be better. Okay, so I will show you my 2026 in a minute. I want to focus on some cross stitch for a minute. One of the ways that I'm hoping to get some more progress on all of my whips, my cross-stitch whips, is by doing WIPGO this year, which I'm very excited. That was almost a bit of a fuzzy on me, I think. It was almost a bit of a split-second decision. It was in the beginning of December, I think, or maybe the end of November. I had seen stuff about WIPGO, and then I was like, that might actually help me, because if it's written down, then I have to do it. It gives me permission to do it. And so I planned and I researched about it, and I think it's something that I'm going to be able to do this year, but I have to be more realistic with my goals. So here is my 2026 WIPGO board. The calls for January were number 2 and number 7. And if you see, I'm actually almost done with my goals. So something I want to do with these, if you're looking at this and you're like, why do I have all these lines down here? So I have almost all of my whips on here, and my goal is to stitch on them for 3 days. I know what my 3 days looks like. It has to be like at least like an hour or 2 hours, something like that. It has to be one stitching session for me, which I can kind of figure that out as I go, but usually that's how I determine all that kind of stuff. So for I have most of my whips on here, and I'm going to stitch them for 3 days each. And then I have my cat sampler, which is something that I designed for myself, and it has all of my cats on there, and I have it on here twice, and each time I want to complete 2 cats. So that is that one right there. So that'll be 4 cats by the end of the year. I think that's a good goal. And so I have the projects that I have on here are my avatar map, which is on here twice. I have afternoon nap, which is the project that was called for this month, and I have 2 days already done on it. I have so much progress. I can't wait to show you guys in my next update. We have Rolodex Morning Sampler, which is by Bendy Stitchy. We have Double Double by Prairie Schooler. My cat sampler is on here twice for 2 cats each time. I have Thanksgiving Comes Again, which is by Prairie Schooler. I have Pie Menu, which is by Country Cottage Needleworks, I think. Pie Menu was also called for this month, and I also have 2 days of the 3 done already, and I'm kind of, okay, I'll tell you at the end. We also have Nature's Journey, which is by Sprouting Lupin. Winter's Delight, which is my winter embroidery project. I have, what is this one called? It's in Italian. It's by Quaria Battaquari, Sei Personaggi and Cerca di Halloween. That's what it is. It's 6 Halloween people. I have one of them already done, so I have 5 left to do. I also have my sunflower embroidery project, which was on here, my craft goals for 2024. I started it. That is the French Knot Hell. Then I also have the Camping Stitch Along, which was by Kate Stitcher, and I have barely any progress on that one. Jolly Old St. Nicholas, which is an old pattern, which is that like pattern of like 17 different Santas, and I have 1 finished. So I have a long way to go on that one. Then for Big City Christmas by Country Cottage Needleworks, I think. My goal is to start and finish one of them. So I don't think I'm going to start any in the meantime. So I think that's a good goal. And I think I can get one done in that amount of time. I also want to do 3 days on, let's see, do I have this one on here twice? I have it on here twice. I have it on my 2026 goals, so I'll show you it now. I want to get 3 days for WIPGO done on my Halloween English paper piecing project. And then I also have it on my 2026 craft goals to work on it for 5 days. Let's see if I can get this bag open. It's stuck. There we go. So this is a Halloween English paper piecing. If you ever heard of English paper piecing, it's like you get different shapes. I'm doing hexagons. and you sew them into this pattern, and you sew each one onto a piece of paper, and then you sew them together, and then you take the paper out as you go. And so I have all of these done. Some of these are not completely sewed together, and some of them are completely sewed together. And then I also have all of these that I still have to sew into their circles. So I have quite a lot to do. My initial thought with this one was to make a new cover for my hutch here, and that is not... I'm gonna have so many extra pieces that I have to figure out what else I want to do with it. And so I'm thinking maybe like some kind of quilt, or like a table runner or something like that. I have a fabric for the back already. And I have an English paper piecing project that I think it was my great grandma that had done. I'll have to show you that in another video. I have that sitting on my cedar chest, and it is gorgeous, and that's kind of where I got the idea to do it. So this one is definitely like very hodgepodge. I got the fabric pre-cut on Amazon a while ago, and I was gonna initially make a like a regular kind of quilt with them, like a square quilt, you know what I'm talking about. But that just did not work for me. I didn't like the way it turned out, so I'm doing this instead. I also have the fabric for a Christmas one as well. So if I ever get done with the Halloween one, maybe I'll move on to the Christmas. But so for my WIPGO, my goal is to do 3 days on that, and then my 2026 craft goals is to work on it for 5 days. Yeah, 5 days. So we'll see. The craft goals I can do that throughout the year, and WIPGO is in a certain month. Also, I have on my WIPGO twice to start and finish a small freebie pattern. So I have that on there twice. And then another one is to start a new WIP, which is, I only have that on there once. And I think that'll be one that's not in my plans. So that'll be like something else that I want to start. I also want to work on a crochet WIP for 3 days. I want to start or work on a project that was a gift. So that one's kind of open-ended. If I have any that I've already started, that was a gift from somebody, then I can work on it, or I can start a new one that is a gift, because I get a lot of patterns and projects that were gifts from family members. So I really want to work on some of them. So that is on there. For 3 days, I have work on a WIP that's closest to the finish. So that'll help me catch up and try to get something done that month. For 3 days, I also have stitch on a sentimental piece. I have a lot of pieces that are sentimental to me, like my cat sampler, or I have other projects too that are also sentimental. So that gives me a chance to work on them. And then I have cat sampler again, another crochet WIP 3 days, and then back to the avatar map. So a lot of people save the number 13, which is usually the freebie spot, as a freebie spot. I did not want to do that. I wanted to add it as something else. So that's where we're at. So I'm planning to highlight the ones that are called, and then I'll check off once I've done 3 days. Keeps me on track to see what I am at. And then once I'm done, I'm hopefully gonna put a sticker on it, so I know that that block is done. So I'm really hoping I can stick with this. I think these are easier goals for me to complete. It's not pressuring me to get things done. It's just pushing me to move things forwards a little bit more. And also, I was gonna say, in addition to getting my goals done for the month, which is usually 3 days, I'm also going to allow myself to use the 2 projects that were called as focus pieces for the month. So for this month, it's pie menu and afternoon nap. So once I've gotten the 3 days done on each of them, I'm going to allow myself to keep working on them as much as I want throughout the month. But after that, if I want to, like, after I get my goals complete, I can pull some other projects if I'm really feeling another project. If I'm not feeling one of these projects, after my goal is done, I can kind of put it aside, say that I'm done with it. That's okay. Sorry, I talk really fast. So these will also turn into focus pieces, which is, like I said, the way that I really like to stitch. So it helps me get my things done, and it helps me have focus pieces, which is what I think is going to help me. So I'm really hoping to clear the board this year, but I guess we'll kind of see. I think these goals are pretty easy to complete. There's nothing crazy, so hopefully that'll get done. So that is my 2026 WIPGO board. Now, sorry. Last year, after I decided, I guess, to, how do I say this? So I started the year, I'm pretty sure, and one of the other things that was stressing me out is I had a lot of finishing pieces, so things that I can put cross stitch on. And that was a lot for me to look over and see. I'm trying to not get rid of my craft stuff, but to kind of pare it down a little bit because I have a lot right now. And so I'm always buying finishing pieces, and I'm always acquiring finishing pieces, and then I work on cross stitch projects, and they don't fit on any of my finishing pieces. So I have a lot of patterns and I have a lot of finishing pieces, but not a lot that went together. So I had come up with the idea that I would go through all of my finishing pieces and go through a whole bunch of my WIPs, or not my WIPs, my stash, my cross stitch stash, and see if I can match anything up so that I know ahead of time what fabric I have to stitch it on and what will match all of these finishing pieces. So I had these planned for several months now. Back maybe since the summertime, I had thought of doing this maybe. So I have a lot of things paired up, and I was going to do this once I hit the point that I realized, or once I hit the point that I had enough WIPs completed that I felt that I can add some more WIPs to my plate. I did not reach that point during the year, and then I decided 2025 was just going to be the year of whipping down. And then maybe 2026 was the year of starting projects and getting some finishing pieces completed. So I'm adding this into my plans. I have a bunch of projects here, and I don't really have an idea of when I'm going to start any of these pieces. Just kind of the vibes when I'm ready to add another piece on. But these are ready to go pretty much. Some of them have floss, some of them do not have floss. Some of them are big, some of them are little, and I'm going to try to show you all of the finishing pieces that I'm going to put them on as well. So I'm going to start with this piece. This one I won in a giveaway from, sorry about the noise, from Wendy at Wendy's Whimsical Stitches. This is Chubby Squirrel by Jeanette Douglas. It's so super cute. And I look at it every time and I'm like, I just wanted to work on that. So this is the finishing piece that it came with. And then, oops, this is the fabric that I'm going to stitch it on. It is a 25 count Lugana. So it's called for, I think, on a 32 count. But I didn't have anything that it worked on. So I think this fabric would look pretty good on there. It's on a pretty light fabric anyway. So I think that would work pretty well. So I just have to get some floss, because for that one, I think I'm just going to pull some of my scrappy flosses that I have left. So that's one of them. See, that would be pretty quick to get done, I think. Okay. Put that on the floor. This one is a pattern that I picked out years ago. Like, probably over 5 years ago. First came the finishing piece, which I'm not really sure where this paint came from, but it is kind of annoying. This was a piece of equipment that I found on my grandparents' farm. I don't know what it's for. It's metal. It was for something, for sure. I cleaned it up, and except for the paint, which I still don't really know where it came from, but I'm going to cover that up. And so the piece came first, and then I was searching through 123 Stitch for a pattern that would fit in the middle of it. And what I came across was Grow Whirligig by Heart and Hand. which I really love the gardening kind of patterns. So I really like this one. And I'm doing this on a 14 count coffee tea dyed Ada. And it is going to go in the middle of it. So it is definitely smaller than the middle. So I'm going to finish it in a circle, and then I'm going to add a little piece inset into the middle here that it will sit on. And then to hide all this, I think I'm going to add a whole bunch of different flowers somehow around here. It's a little bit dirty. And I think that's going to look really cute. So I'm going to have to add a way to hang this as well, which I'm just now realizing. But I think that'll look really cute with all the flowers. You know, add a whole bunch of fake flowers around there somehow. I think that would look really cute. So that is my idea for that one. I really need to get that one done because this one has been languishing for so long. And I've had the finishing piece for so long and I just never kitted it up at all. So this one's got to get done for sure. And it's so small and so cute. It would just get done super fast. So that one I'm putting down there. Next, we have a pattern that my stepmom gave me. She gave me this in 2024, I think, for Christmas. It is Quirky Quaker Queen Bee by Darling and Whimsy Design. Darling and Whimsy? Yeah, Designs. So cute, so small, and my stepmom gave me the floss as well. And this is the fabric that I'm going to stitch it on. This is a fabric that I just dyed. It's a 14 count. And I think it would look super cute, right? I think that would look pretty good. And I'm going to put it on this little piece. I found this piece at Walmart like literally a year ago or something. And I thought that would look perfect on there. I did the math on all of them. They will all fit. But it's going to go right here. It'll be a little bit big, but and I will paint this. I had an idea of how I wanted to paint this, so hopefully it works. But that's so cute. And I found this at Walmart knowing that I was going to put this on there, and I still had never started it or anything. And I have all the flosses, so I literally just needed some fabric and I just never did it. So that is on the list, and that's small and it would get done pretty quickly as well. Okay. I don't want to lose any of this. I finally got it all together. Okay. Next, this one I actually don't have a finishing piece for it yet, but I really wanted to start it. And I have all the flosses now. It is the Beaver, which is A Year in the Woods number 11 by Cottage Garden Samplings. Can you see that? My stepmom gave me this one, and she gave me two other ones for Christmas last year. And then this past Christmas, she gave me two more. And she asked me if I had started any of them, and I had to say no, I haven't started any of them, even though I love them so much. I love that little beaver. He is so cute. It's extra special because my stepmom is a naturalist for the state parks, so she loves animals, and she really wanted to give me these, so I really have to start these. I'm pretty sure I'm gonna frame all of these, and so I have them all out at the same time, I think. Even though some of them are like seasonal kind of, like this one's fall, I think I'm gonna frame them all and just put them on my wall because I want to see them all the time. So I have all the floss, and then I'm putting it on a coffee tea dyed 14 count Ada. So I think that would look pretty good on there. And I'm really excited. This one's probably one of my favorites. I think my favorite is the raccoon. I don't have that one yet, and I really want to get that one. And I really like all the new ones that they've been releasing as well. So I really want to stitch them all, and I just have to start one of them. So this one I might start kind of soon because I'm really excited for this one. I did not do the fancy flosses. I'm just doing the DMC. Next, another one that I actually don't have a finishing piece for. But I ended up re-dyeing this fabric for like the third time. So I just put it on my list to start. I have had this pattern probably since 2019. It is one of the first few patterns that I bought from 123 Stitch. It is one of my favorite patterns ever. And it's time to stop putting it off and just start it. It is called Search the Sky by Waxing Moon Designs. And it says, may you never be too grown up to search the sky on Christmas Eve. I absolutely love that. And I dyed the fabric for it once. Then ended up mixing up this fabric with the fabric that I was going to use for, what's it called? A Silent Night by Country Cottage Needleworks, Little House Needleworks, one of them. I switched the fabrics, so I ended up dyeing the other one too dark and this one too light. So I dyed it again a darker blue, and then it's been sitting in the bag on my shelf forever because I'm still not happy with it. So I ended up dyeing it again this past Christmas, and it's a little bit more darker, and it's got a couple more colors in there, so hopefully I'm happy with that. It's not the perfect color, but I think it is a pretty good color now. So I think I finally need to start this. I'm probably just going to pull some random flosses that I have because it's not a lot of stitching really. So I am really excited to start this one, and I just need to start it already because it's been languishing for way too long. All right. Okay. Next one, I do have a finishing piece for it. It is called Sweetheart Street from the Let's Go Ride a Bike series from Stitching with the Housewives. This was a giveaway that I had won from Wendy's Whimsical Stitches again, and it is super cute, and I love the fabric. I had a couple different options pulled for this fabric, and this is one that I just dyed as well, and I think it's so pretty. I think it's gonna work with this. I know they had black, but I don't have enough black fabric for that. But I think it's gonna work on there. I'm just gonna pull my own colors that are gonna work with it. And I think that's gonna look pretty good. And then I'll show you the finishing piece. It is on the bottom here. Okay. So this is a heart-shaped wreath. This is something that my mom had hanging above her bed for pretty much my whole life, probably even longer than that. It had a whole bunch of fake flowers stuck to it, and she was redecorating her room, so she decided she didn't want this anymore. Asked if I wanted it. I said yes, but if you can pull out all the fake flowers, because I did not want all those fake flowers. They were dusty and gross, and they just needed to be thrown in the garbage. So she was able to do that, and then I washed this so it's nice and clean. And I just knew a very pretty Valentine's Day pattern would look. A very pretty Valentine's Day pattern would look really good on this, and I think that would look perfect on there. So I'm probably going to add some more fake flowers back onto it, but fresh fake flowers, and I think that'll look really good. I really like that. I think that'll look good. And then this one also doesn't have a lot of stitching, even though it looks kind of big, but it's pretty easy stitching, so I'm ready for that one. Okay. We're already at 38 minutes. I knew this video might be a little bit long. Sorry. I have a lot of plans. Okay. The next one, this was a gift from my mom for Christmas. Not this past Christmas, but the Christmas before. It is called Home Sweet Coop. It is the Springtime Series #3 from Cottage Gardening Samplings. She gave this to me because I have chickens, and she knows I love my chickens. I gave both my mom and my stepmom access to my 1-2-3 Stitch wish list, and that's where they pulled all the patterns from. So I already vetted all these patterns, and I already really liked them. So they just pulled ones that they thought they really resonated with and wanted to give me. So I really like this one. I'm doing it on this yellowish brownish fabric. It didn't dye the way I thought it would, but I think it'll still look pretty good. I really like that one. And I'm putting it on this board. I already stained this, so it was that color. I think I got this from like Michael's or Walmart or something like that. So it's wood. And I think that would look pretty good on there. Yeah, I think that would look pretty cute with this fabric. Yeah, I think that would be good. So that's that one. And next, this one I also won from a giveaway from Deanne at Stitching on the Rock. It is called a Sandman Originals Smells Like Snow. So cute, and I definitely know that snow smell. It is very strong. And I'm doing it on this fabric. Some of these fabrics I dyed specifically for these specific patterns, and I think that one looked pretty good on there. And I'm finishing that one into a circle on this little basket, and I'm gonna put it in here. So let's see, you know, kind of something like that. I think that'll look pretty good. This is a basket that I found at my grandma's house. I think she had plants in it or something. Probably came as like a basket from a flower shop or something that somebody gifted her flowers. And then she used it as a plant pot. So it's a little bit dirty, but it's not too bad. So I think I'll like do it as a circle finish on the top. And I think that'll look pretty cute. I'm just chucking all this stuff on the floor, and I'm gonna have a huge mess to clean up when I'm done. Okay, next, this one was a gift from my mom, I think for Christmas. This is Frosty's Night Out by Blackbird Designs. So I'm not doing this colorway because I am not a fan of that colorway. I'm gonna brighten it up for sure, and part of the way that I'm brightening it up with is the fabric. Definitely brightening it up. And so this one I had a finishing piece. It was another circle finish like the other one that I just showed you, but it was like in a metal cup kind of thing, and I was really excited to put it in there. And then I was about to cut the fabric. I had pulled this fabric. I finally decided that it looked good on this fabric, and then I realized it would not fit no matter what I did. So I don't have a finishing piece for this one anymore. Maybe I'll finish it as a drum. I'm not sure. This one might just languish for a little bit after it's done being stitched. But I could not part from this fabric. It is, I convinced myself to do it, and then I couldn't convince myself not to do it anymore. So I had no fabric small enough, like a small enough count, and a pretty enough color that would work for the finishing piece. So I'll just use it for something else, and I'll finish this some other way. So we'll figure that one out. I'm not in a rush to start this one, but I do think once I brighten up the colors, and that picture just doesn't do it for me too much, but I know it can be cute. I know it can be. I know it is cute, but I know it can be my kind of cute. So we got that one. And then the next one is in the Just Cross Stitch Summer 2024 issue. It is Sweet Mossy Home by Quatornian Creations. So I am doing this one into two pieces. I originally thought I was just going to do this top portion, and then I decided I just really like that piece, so I am going to do that one separate. So I'm just going to chop it off here and do that top part as a pillow. And I'm going to put that on this little chair that I got last year. It's a little dragonfly chair. As soon as I saw this chair, I knew what I was going to put on it. So this one has also just been sitting waiting for the piece to get stitched. And then I also just really like the bottom piece as well, so I am going to stitch that as well. Probably it's going to be as a little pillow to put beside it or something like that, but I think it's cute too. And I'm stitching it on. Not the biggest fan of the way this turned out, but I think it'll look pretty good. So I did dye it specifically for this pattern, and then I came out, I'm like, what was I thinking? But I think it'll be okay. Once I have the stitching on there, I think it'll be okay. So that is that one. We're getting there, guys. We're getting there. I really like this chair. I have a thing for chairs, apparently, because that is a chair right there. Right there. I have a thing for chairs. Mini chairs. Teeny tiny chairs. Next, we have two more. We have The First Fall of Snow by Ben Creek. This was a gift from my stepmom. And I'm doing that one right there. I probably won't end up doing this one down here because I'm just not a fan of it. And the pattern, it's printed on this whole thing. It goes across like that, and it would mean copying it would be kind of annoying, so I just don't want to do it. I'm doing the bigger piece on this fabric. It's a gray. It's not quite showing up, but it's a nice gray. And I'm going to put it on this board. So this was a board that you, like a little sign that you stick outside in the snow. And it was outside for many, many years. And then the stick broke off of it and the stick would just eroded away completely. And I just really liked it still. And so my mom let me keep it. It's a little bit faded, so I'm just gonna like outline the snowman a little bit more. And then my thought is to hang the sign or hang the stitching from the sign like that somehow. I think that would look pretty cute. So we'll see how that one goes, but I think that might be a good idea. I like that. So hopefully that one turns out. If not, I can always finish it another way and just get rid of that wooden sign, because if it doesn't work out, I am getting rid of this because it is worn and it needs to go if it's not going to work. So we have that one. And the last one, I have all my floss for this just attached to it. So here's all the flosses, and I'm actually missing 2 flosses for it. And this one, I still have to dye the fabric. Oops, sorry. It is on an 18 count. I'm going to coffee tea dye it, and I still need to do that. And it is in the Just Cross Stitch December 2023 issue. And it is that piece. So let me see if I can find the, oh, there it is. When I got this magazine, I fell in love with this piece, but it's so big and it's full coverage that I just never stitched it. But I think it's absolutely gorgeous. I've got all the flosses except for 2, and I'm going to put it on this board that I got from Michaels. I got it on sale last year. I think it was Michaels. Yeah, Michaels. And it had to be 18 count. I already had a fabric pulled for this, and then I realized it couldn't be on a 14 count. It had to be on an 18 count. So it's gonna sit right in here, and it's already circle. Circle finishes are really hard to find, so I think that's gonna look perfect in there. I love that. I love it. I love little scenes where there's a lot of different things going on. Like, look, there's a cat up there, and they got the tree and the bakery, and it's just so cute. So this one will be a big project, and I am going to be a little bit hesitant to start it just because I know it's going to take me a long time to stitch it. But once I've got, like I said, once I've got some of these other projects done, then I am going to feel better starting that. So those are all of my stitchy plans. Let me put this away. So I will start these whenever I'm feeling ready and up to it. And I think that'll help me having all of these finishing pieces out of the way and a lot of these other projects that I've really wanted to stitch but just haven't had the chance to. So now we are going to move on to my regular craft goals. Let me put this over here. So this is my 2026 craft goals board. It is a lot more on my board than the last time, but I think these are easier goals. So let me go through them one by one and show you some examples. The first one is I do want to completely finish a diamond painting that I have called Christmas Eve. I got this diamond painting for Christmas this year. This is what the picture is. And I say finish this one because even though it's huge and it's my first one that has square gems, when I was working on it on Christmas Day, I had multiple people come up to me and say, there's no way you're getting that done before next Christmas. You're going to be working on this for another year or 2 and it's going to take you forever. And I just want to prove them wrong. Basically, that's the only thing that I want to do, is I want to prove them wrong. So I have to get this done this year. I have 2 other really big diamond paintings this size that I also got for Christmas, and then I also got a smaller one. So I don't want them languishing forever either, because this is another craft that's added to my craft list. So basically that is why it is as a finish and not a work on. So isn't it so pretty? I just love it. I just love that little scene. So cute. So that is the top one. Next, we have work on crochet clothing for 5 days. I have a couple different crochet clothing projects. The one I'm going to show you, which I'm not even sure, I actually have to mark off a day because I worked on it last night. I'm not sure what this clothing is going to be yet, but it is with my grandma crocheted. Little tangent. My grandma crocheted and she left me her really big yarn stash. And one of the things she had just bought like a couple months before she passed was a whole bunch of sets of yarn from Hobby. I think that's how you pronounce it. It's a Hobii, I think it is. So that's a lot of yarn for somebody who had just started crocheting, like literally a month or two before she passed. So nobody else wanted it, and I just accepted all of the yarn myself. And so this is a project that is hopefully going to use up at least 4 of the different colors. So I kind of just started, and I decided I would kind of figure out what I was going to work on later, or what it's going to be later. So I just put them all together just to see where I was at. I was thinking maybe I would do a granny square dress, overall dress kind of thing. We'll see what it ends up being, but I just kind of put them together. This is my circumference, I guess. At least what I would be comfortable wearing as a dress, so it's not like body tight. I am nowhere near where I need to be to get it done. I worked on last night. I finished one of the granny squares, and then I did 3 more. And I have this very handy dandy graph kind of thing telling me what order the colors should be in. So these are all the different variations of the 4 colors that I have, which is a white, a dark red, or dark pink, medium pink, and a light pink. So these are all the different variations that it can be, or all the different combinations it can be, and I'm marking them off as I do them so I don't get overwhelmed by what different colors I have to do next and how many have I done of each. So I just go through, and I know it's going to be an equal amount. I'm not going to have too much of one color, and it takes away the thought of having to do this, so that helps me be able to work on it. I did this when I first started it, so that's that one. I'm still not really sure what I'm doing with it, but it's so far away from deciding that I just want to use up the yarn, so I want to see where I can get with all of the yarn, and I'm very far away from getting to that point. So this is a project that is going to languish for quite a while, so I really did want to make some progress on it. I also have a poncho that I'm making. I'm making my blue sweater that I talked about in my 2024 craft goals, and I have another sweater which I might end up ripping out because I don't think it's big enough, and I totally winged it. That's how I do most of my things. I just wing it, and that is not working out with that one, so I think I'm gonna frog that one. And I think that's all of my crochet clothing, so I really want to get some progress on some of those. But my progress is to work on them for 5 days, so I already have 1 day done. And then the next one, I want to start a crochet doily. I've been seeing all these really pretty doilies on Pinterest that I really want to start, and I got the yarn for it, which was like a really, really thin, I'm not sure what it's called, I'm sorry, it's like a really, really thin yarn. I got that 2 years ago, 2 Christmases or 3 Christmases ago. It was quite a while ago. I had intentions to start them then, and I just never did. So my goal is to at least start one. And I also want to use them for decoration. I think it would look really cute to have some back here, different seasonal ones. So I think that'll add to my decor. Next I want to finish my knitting blanket. I have to finish it because it is so close to a finish that, and it's been languishing for way too many years. I started this when I was in college, and I've been out of college for a while now, and it is not, if you're a knitter, I am so sorry to offend. It is not good. It is terrible, actually, in fact. It is really bad. But I have 3 panels. I don't know what is going on here. There we go. I have 3 panels already done. I already used the other 3 panels as a blanket. I just need to get this last panel done. It's a variegated kind of yarn. It is super soft. It's like a blanket. It is a blanket. It's blanket yarn. It is super soft. I've dropped stitches. I have added stitches. It is twisting. It is not good. This is my only knitting project. I decided maybe if I used a bigger knitting needle that it would make me like knitting more. It did not. I do not like knitting. So this will be my only knitting project that I ever do. I don't know if I'm hitting the table. I'm sorry. This is the only knitting project I will ever do, and I just need to get it done. I'm not even measuring how many rows that I've done. I am measuring based on how much yarn I have left and how it matches up to the other 3 that I've made. So the only reason I haven't finished this one really is because I have to measure it against the rest of the blanket to see how much longer I have to do. And I think I'm still a ways away. So this is going to be nice and warm once I'm done with it because the rest of the blanket is nice and done. I just need it to be wider. So this has to get done this year. I am so sick of seeing this blanket. I just want it done. And also, side note, it is in, oh, I got needles everywhere. It is in this bag that my great grandma made out of plastic canvas. How cool is that? It's so cool. She put a little lining in it, everything. For reference, I have never met my great grandma. She was my mom's mom. My mom's mom. Yeah, I think. My grandma's mom. And it's just, I've never met her. She died right before I was born. So it was really cool to have all of her stuff. And speaking of, I also have one of her projects that I want to work on too. So I really like that bag. Okay, next I have work on this plastic canvas project. Speaking of plastic canvas, this was a project that my grandma started and never finished before she passed. It is Welcome Snowman by Design Works. She got it from Hirschner's, or maybe, what's the other one? Hirschner's and Mary Maxim. Those are the 2 websites that she used to shop from. So she started this. She cutted it. I've been talking for too long. She cut it all out. She started it, but she wasn't able to finish it. And it's stuck. So I have to go through. I'm pretty sure, I'm really hoping that she cut it right and that it'll all fit. I usually don't cut mine out first. I stitch it all on and then I cut it out around it so that I know that it's the right size. So I'm really hoping it's the right size. But I have to really orientate myself with this project. So the goal is, let's see, work on it for 5 days. And usually once I've worked on it for 5 days, I kind of want to pull them out more. So that's why also I do like 3 days, 5 days, something like that. After that point, I am more, I know my way around the project again. Oh my God. I need to stop talking. Once I get to that point, I have reorientated myself with the project and I want to pull it out more. So I have not worked on this at all, but I really need to. She has all the little dangly bits that hang off too. She has them cut out as well. And I just need to figure this one out so I can start it, I think. And I really just need to get that done because it is like haunting me a little bit. Okay. Next we have my felt pies. This project goes along with the pie menu, which is my WIPGO call for the month. I wanted to make, I don't know if I'm shaking the table, I'm sorry. I wanted to make felt pies that went along with all the pies listed in the pie menu. And I did the pumpkin pie. So this is all from my own pattern. I made this own pattern because I didn't want to buy anything and I didn't want to figure it out from somebody else. I just wanted to do it myself. So this is the pumpkin pie, and it looks a little rough on the bottom, but that's okay because I just stick it in these pie tins. These are regular mini pie tins. I just cut off the lip of them so that the lip was actually the pie. And I really want to display these for Thanksgiving, so I really want to get more of them done. There's a couple of them I want to do. Hold on. I have a list of all the different pies that are on the pie menu cross-stitch pattern. It is peach, strawberry, apple, pecan, blueberry, key lime, cherry, and pumpkin. And then I also added a cream pie, which is what I make for Thanksgiving. So the key lime, pumpkin, and cream, and I think the pecan as well, are all like this kind, where it's just a flat top and I have stuffing underneath them. And then I also have blueberry and cherry, where it's actually, I made actual blueberries and I will make actual cherries. And then you put them in here and it kind of looks like it's got the lattice top. I wanted them to look a little more realistic, but they are taking so much more blueberries than I thought it would. I need to keep going. I need to bulk up a little bit. So that's taking forever. I have a lot of the cherries already cut out, and I'm going to need to cut more blueberries out because this is not enough. So I'm a little worried to start the cherry one because I know that one's going to take forever. I have stitched all of the bases. Yeah, this might be the rest of the bases that I need. So basically they just, oh, I didn't sew them all together, but I cut them all. And then they'll look like this. And then I'll sew the bottom onto them to make them flat. So I kind of batch did them, and then I have the bottoms already cut out and everything. So some of these I can get done pretty quickly. And then for the peach and apple, I have this template made. So it looks like an apple or peach slice. And then I'm not really sure what I'm going to do for the strawberry yet. That is a later problem. So that's where I'm at on my felt pies. Some of these are super easy and I just need to get them done. I had said that it's okay because I haven't finished the, it's not closing. Because I haven't finished the, that's gonna annoy me now. My scissors don't fit in there anymore. All right, I'll leave this out. I haven't finished, oh my God, I'm sorry. I haven't, oh, there it goes. I haven't finished the cross stitch pattern, so it's okay that I haven't finished the pies yet, but I'm getting like on the felt, the pattern, so I need to, you know. Okay. Next, I want to finish my project bags. I started a whole bunch of project bags like a year ago, and I haven't finished them. This is the worst part of it, is sewing all the pieces together. And I need these to start all my new projects because I need really big bags. So, how many is that? 5? I have 5 left to do. I just got to get them done. They've just been sitting around and annoying me. So that has to get done. Those are finished ones. I also have a dress that I was sewing from fabric. I have to finish that because I'm tired of looking at it, and I didn't bring it over because it is in a million pieces still. I've never made a dress before out of fabric, and so I kind of just made it up as well. I watched a couple tutorials, I cut a couple things out, and then just went rogue. So that has to get done. That's a finished one. Another thing I don't have is a miniature model house. It's a pattern or a project, a kit that my grandma gave me. She gave me 3 kits, like a couple months before she died, like the summer before she died. And I lost all motivation after she passed away. So I'm almost done with one of them. It's the witch one. I just need to get that one done as well. I have so many miniature projects going at one time and so many kits that I just need to get that one done so I can move on to another one. Because another one that I have is a book nook, which is also a finish. My boss gave that to me this past Christmas, and I told her I would get it done before I saw her again, so I really need to get that done. I'm probably not going to get it done, but it's a Christmas themed book nook, and it's super cute, so I'll probably show you guys when I finish it. So that's on my list. The next one is I want to crochet 5 small pieces. So I have a really big Pinterest board of all my crochet and everything. So I found all these patterns and I love them all so much, and I add them to my little displays back here. And I want to make 5 different ones. I want to start and complete 5 different projects because they're all so cute. And some of them are really small, and if I start them, I have to finish them. Otherwise, I don't know where I left off. So there's a lot that I really want to do. So I have to do 5 of them. Also, I have to do crochet 5 seasonal squares. So my grandma has done these. They're over there. They're like little flowers, and I put things under them. Like I have a plant under one, and she's done ones that I did for my spring display. So I really like tucking them under, like I would put something under that one. I want to do like a little snowflake or like a little doily kind of thing under that one, and like a little snowflake right here or something. So that is what I'm considering seasonal squares. So most of them were probably going to be granny squares, but in different colors. It's just something I can tuck in and lay over top of the boxes and just lay out on the bottom of my hutch. So I think that would be really cute. I want to do 5 of them, and they're basically, most of them are just granny squares or like decorative kind of granny squares, so they would be super easy. And I want to do them for all the different kinds of seasons, so I just put 5 down. Next, I want to finish my Grammy's pillow. So this is what I was saying. I have a project from my Grammy that she never finished, and now she passed in the late 90s, so I never met her, and she did everything. She crocheted, she knitted, she cross-stitched, she did everything. And one of the things that she used to make, or I'll put it up this side, are knitted pillows. And so this is very 70s, 80s. Not really colors we would do now. But I found she had this box. She had 2 of these, and the yarn is supposed to come out that hole at the top, but she did not do that, luckily. Thank you for not doing that, because that would be a nightmare. But my grandma had one of these already done in her house, and after she passed, I really don't know what happened to it. So she used to have more of these. I might have one downstairs, I'm not sure. But she only did the front side. Usually you knit one side and then you knit the other side and you put a pillow in between of them. She did not do the other side, so I have to figure out. She still had her her knitting needles, and she still had all the yarn attached. She hadn't finished it. So I finished off the end. Is it pretty? No, but it's done. And sorry, I'm losing my voice. I have to figure out what I want to do with this because I'm tired of it sitting around. I want to get rid of the rest of the yarn. I want to put the knitting needles back, and I want to just get this done with. So I have to figure out a way to make this into a pillow. My mom said I should just sew it together like this. Something like this. You know? So I don't know if I want to do that, or she said just sew it together like this, or sew it together like this. I'm not sure what I want to do yet. I might even just get a piece of fabric and sew a piece of fabric onto the back and stuff that. I'm not positive. I have to figure this out because I want it done and I want it out of my craft room. So that is something that I have to finish. And it, like, you know, this project has been sitting for over 30 years at least. You know, it just needs to get done. It needs to stop sitting around. Because after she passed, my grandma took it, and it's been sitting in my grandma's house for all this time as well. So this just needs to get done. Okay, next, we're almost done. I have a book that I want to finish. It is called City of Echoes. It is an Avatar book, which is like the Avatar map that I'm making. So I'm halfway through. I am dragging on this book because I like to consume anything that is Avatar: The Last Airbender related. This is one of the books. I've read all the other books. This is a standalone by a different author, if you can see that. I'm not a fan of this book. I don't think it's that interesting, but I have to make myself finish it because it's just something I'm doing. So I have to finish this book. Next, I have something that I don't have with me. I have chickens, and chickens will often lay what are called fairy eggs, and they're eggs that are really, really small, like really small. And it's usually at the beginning of their laying cycle or at the end of their laying cycle, so when they're about to pass or when they're done laying eggs for their life. I have maybe 10 eggs that they have laid that are fairy eggs, and the first one that I ever got, I showed my grandma, and one of her aides, I guess, like they're like a home health aide, she suggested that I save them. I think it's called, I thought it was called candling, but it might actually not be called that. It's where you poke a hole in the top and the bottom, and then you blow all the yolk and everything out of it. So the egg is basically hollow inside. So I did that to all of my eggs, and then I wanted to save them to do an art project with, because my mom has this Easter tree that she puts out that has glass eggs on it that I got inspired by. So I want to prep all of the eggs that I have so that I can paint them all. I started painting them all once and I did not like my color scheme, so I'm painting them over, trying to redo them again. Inside of each one I put a bunch of rice, and then I poured a whole bunch of glue in there, so then they won't get crushed or anything, and they will hold their shape. They're not heavy, and it'll work fine. I've already done it to most of them, so my goal is to just prep them all, so when I have ideas for how I want to paint the outside, they are fully ready to do that. Next, I have work on my Halloween English paper piecing project for 5 days, which I've already shown you. I have a needle book that I started because I have a ton of needles, and I got overwhelmed with it. Shocker. And I haven't worked on it. And it's all of my needles pretty much, except for a lot of my cross stitch needles. And it's just stuck here. Hold on. Okay. And I had this idea of I wanted to do a needle book, and I was going to do it out of felt. And so I think it goes something like this way. I think it goes this way. So I have 2 pieces of felt sewed together, and then I have a piece that is for the needles, and then it's that one. And it's like all of my different kinds of sewing needles, some cross stitch, some of these funky needles, and really small ones. Those are pins. I have these 2 big ones, and then some needle threaders, and some more big ones, little ones, and then more little ones. So I wanted to make them into a book, and I got stuck because I'm not really sure. I think I have more in here. Do I? Did I finish sewing them all? I'm shocked. I didn't think I'd sewn them all together. So I'm literally at the point, unless I'm missing some, which I don't see anymore, I am at the point where I have to sew it into a book, and I'm not positive how I want to do that yet, and that's why I haven't done it yet. So I guess I just need to figure that out. I think I wanted to like lace them all together and put a cover on it somehow, but this has to get done because sitting in my bag are all these needles, and I went to go grab this bag or grab a bag behind it, and I stabbed myself one of the needles, and I literally cut my finger open. So I just need to get this done. It has all my needles too, so I kind of need to get done. This has literally been languishing for years, probably since at least 2020. So I have to get that done. I just need to suck it up and figure it out. Plus it's taking up room in my whip basket. And the last one, which is another new hobby that I decided to start, It pairs with my gardening hobby and my insane hobby that I want to make things out of other things. So this year in my garden, I grew a bunch of gourds and I wanted to make something out of them, like birdhouses or something, but all of my gourds grew this size. These were supposed to be birdhouses. The only bird that could fit in this is maybe one hummingbird. I don't know what happened. So I want to turn these gourds into decorations. My aunt goes to this one store in Gettysburg every year that sells gourds that have been turned into other things. So like we have one that's a cat, has cat ears, and it has a little heart shaped cut out of it. So I want to do something like that. So the first one that I did, also I have a whole bunch on my Pinterest that I've saved, is in progress. It is going to be a basket. So I cut a hole in the bottom and I'm going to get a wooden cookie for the bottom that my dad's going to cut. And then there are 2 holes on the side and I'm going to make a little basket loop. And on the inside is or on the outside I guess, is a maple leaf shape that I cut out. For Christmas I got a sort of Dremel kind of tool. It's for engraving, so I engraved that. And then for this one, I want to make a snowman because he kind of looks like a snowman. My dad already cut the hole for the bottom because that's a thicker one. Listen, this is this one. And this is this one. So different in the thicknesses of these gourds, which is so weird. I have probably at least 20 more gourds drying in my garage. But these were the ones that were done first. So they got to be done first. And I just lost some of the seeds. I guess there were still seeds in there. So that is something I want to do. I want to carve 3 gourds. So I'm almost done with one of them. They're leaking all over me now. I thought they were empty. And that is my whole craft goals board. So I will tape this onto my wall. It'll be hanging below or above my WIPGO board. And I'm really hoping I can get some of these things done. I can already cross off 1.5 things. I'm almost done with the gourds. And I left myself some more room for more goals if I want to do more. But this is to hopefully get me working on some of these projects and get some more progress on some of them. So, and finish a couple of them that are almost done. So, those are all of my craft and cross-stitch goals. If you're still here, thank you for watching. I have a huge mess on the floor. I am very hungry and I want to go eat some lunch. And I'm really hoping for a productive and less stressful 2026, at least in my craft goals, I guess. I'm hoping to get a lot of things done or get more progress on things done, get me moving, and get me less stressed out about everything that I have. So thank you for watching my video. Let me know down below if you have any goals that you're hoping to work on this year. It's always good to have goals, but you have to be realistic with your goals is what I've learned. So I hope you guys have good luck with your goals for this year if you have any goals, and I will see you in my next video, which will be a regular update video. So bye!